Hello and welcome to Cinemaze, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about how Aquaman can save the DCEU. Whether you're a fan of the DCEU or not, it's clear that the universe hasn't had the best start. Some films are loved by fans while others are hated. Some are loved by critics while others are hated, and some have split the fan base entirely. However, despite the rocky start, I think the DCEU can still be saved, and the next few films have the potential to fix things for this franchise going forwards. So in this video, I'm going to mention some of the ways that the next movie, Aquaman, can help to fix the DCEU. The first way that Aquaman can fix the DCEU is by doing something different. Now, something that I talk a lot about on this channel is how the best superhero films are the ones that try something new. This is something that MCU has nailed recently. Homecoming was a high school movie, Thor Ragnarok was a wacky buddy cop space film, Black Panther was a story about a king and his nation, and Infinity War had that ending that shocked audiences throughout the world. By changing up the formula, the films don't feel stale and allows the genre to continue to survive. If you look at Wonder Woman, it did something new. It gave us the first female superhero movie in recent years, and it resulted in being the only DCEU film that is both critically and financially successful. And Aquaman has the potential to bring us something new as well, and this mainly comes from its setting. We've been to space, we've been to fictional countries, to other realms and other dimensions, but we've never been under the sea. And setting the movie under the sea can bring a lot of new things to the genre and make the movie feel fresh. Like Black Panther, it can give us the opportunity to explore a new culture. If Aquaman can create a culture and nation that feels nothing like we've seen before, then the movie will be intriguing and will give us a reason to watch it over the hundreds of other generic superhero movies set in a city. Furthermore, setting the film under the sea can provide unique action scenes due to the effects that the water has on movement. We see so many action scenes with two people just punching each other, but when we see scenes set in space, or in low gravity, or falling through the sky, they feel unique. And so setting one underwater is something I've never seen before, and is a great opportunity to create something new and exciting. Therefore, if the DCEU wants to succeed going forwards, it needs to keep their films feeling fresh and unique, and Aquaman can do this due to its never explored before setting. One of the biggest complaints about the DCEU is its tone. The majority of audiences didn't like the sombre and dark tone of the previous entries, and when they introduced the humour, many people found it awkward and out of place. Therefore, if Aquaman can balance the tone of the DCEU, it can help the universe going forward. Making a universe dark and gritty isn't necessarily a bad thing, if done right. It will clearly differentiate the universe from Marvel's light-hearted movies, and the darker tone suits many of DC's characters. Tone is something that I think Wonder Woman, again, dealt with well. Besides from Themyscira, the world appeared sombre and drab. However, within the dark world, the hero, or should I say heroine, stood out as a symbol of hope and light. By making Wonder Woman feel hopeful, it prevented the universe from feeling too depression and brought levity to the movie, while still clearly giving the impression that the world around her was dark. Superheroes represent hope. Even the best, darker, grittier superhero movies have a message of hope in there, and this is something that the DCEU needs to reflect. Especially because DC have some of the most hopeful characters in comic book history, but the universe hasn't reflected this properly yet. And again, Aquaman has the potential to do this. Aquaman in the comics is a light-hearted and goofy character, and although I doubt we will get to see the goofy side to him, we should still see the light-hearted side. He can be used to provide humour within the dark world of DC, and Atlantis could be used as a place of hope, like Themyscira was. However, Under the Sea can be scary, and considering the director comes from a horror background, other Under the Sea kingdoms could be used to show the darkness that exists in the universe. Contrasting the humour of Aquaman and the lightness of Atlantis with the dark and sombre world of DC can balance the tones of the universe and make the heroes of DC represent hope in the darkest of times, and it will please fans of both tones and help to fix the tonal problems within the universe. The final way that I think Aquaman can fix the DCEU is by giving us an actor and characters that fans go to see. This is something Marvel hit straight away with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. He was cast perfectly, and his enthusiasm for the character and the franchise motivated fans to want to see more. The majority of people went to see the Avengers just to see Iron Man, and later we fell in love with the other characters. This is something the DCEU is lacking. Although many fans love Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, DC don't seem to be pushing her as their flagship character, and based on the box office for Justice League, people didn't go just to see her. DC tried pushing Batman and Superman as their main characters, but even that seems to have failed, and when Affleck seems reluctant about the role, and Cavill is supposedly fired, it makes the fans ask, if the actors don't care, why should we? However, Marvel didn't start with their Batmans or their Supermans. Their first movie wasn't Spider-Man or Wolverine, it was from a far less famous character of Iron Man, who, because of the acting and the writing, became beloved by fans and is now their MCU's flagship character. Although it sounds crazy to say Aquaman could be DC's flagship character, 10 years ago it would have seemed crazy to say Iron Man would be Marvel's. And although Aquaman can seem goofy, Marvel managed to make goofy characters like Thor and Captain America work, so why can't DC do the same for Aquaman? Now, I haven't been a big fan of Aquaman in the DCEU so far, But I wasn't a big fan of Thor until his third movie, but Hemsworth's enthusiasm revitalised both the character and the Thor franchise. And if people come out of Aquaman saying that the character was amazing and they love Momoa's performance, then the film will be successful and it will give us a reason to want to see more DC movies with Aquaman in them. When you see Marvel actors in interviews, they all seem so enthusiastic about their roles. Marvel manages to hire people who care about these roles. But when you look at DC, Affleck seems down about it, Superman may be gone, Gal Gadot never seems pushed like she should be. If DC can find someone to embody their universe and push it forwards, it can completely revitalise the universe. And Jason Momoa has the personality and the charisma to potentially do this. Therefore, if DC can create a beloved character portrayed by an actor who seems enthusiastic about both the role and the future of DC, it will make fans want to see more and will give them a reason to go and watch more DC films, and thus will help save the DCEU. So overall, the DCEU has many problems, but these problems can be resolved in Aquaman, and if continued through the future movies, then the DCEU will be fine. If the universe can have tonal consistency, characters and actors that the audience cares about, and give us unique and high quality films, then the DCEU can succeed, and Aquaman provides the potential to do all these things and save the DCEU. Let me know in the comments what you think of the DCEU, and if you think Aquaman can help the universe. For the record, I'm not saying that I think Aquaman will save the DCEU, I'm just saying it has the potential to do so if it does all these things right. To be honest, I'm not really sure how to feel about Aquaman, but we can only hope. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll probably make a similar video closer to the release of Shazam about how that movie can do all these things to help the universe too, because that movie has a lot of potential. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at Cinemaze channel to see my thoughts on films and to see when I upload. And also, if you could share this video on social media, it would really help my channel out. So be sure to subscribe and like the video. As always, thanks for watching Cinemaze, and more videos coming soon.